Leo and the little sun in his pocket. In a quiet street of the town, on the second floor of a house with a roof covered in ivy, a light was still on in a small child's room. This was 5-year-old Leo's room. Leo was sitting on the edge of his bed, staring at something on the floor, a brand new, dark blue backpack with silver stars on it. Tomorrow was the big day. Leo was starting Rainbow Hill School. For adults, this was just a Monday. But for Leo, it was as huge as an astronaut stepping onto the moon for the first time, as exciting as an explorer entering an unmapped jungle, and also a little scary. Leo approached his bag. Inside was his pencil case, crayons, and his favorite superhero water bottle. Everything was ready, but did Leo feel ready? He wasn't sure. It felt as if thousands of tiny butterflies were fluttering in his stomach. His mother, Anna, came into the room. She was holding a glass of warm milk. Seeing Leo's worried face, she sat on the edge of the bed. "Can't sleep, my brave explorer?" she asked, stroking his hair. Leo shook his head. "Mom, what if I don't know anyone at school? What if I can't find the bathroom? What if I miss you?" The questions poured out of Leo's mouth like a river. These questions were little clouds that had been swirling in his head for days. His mother, Anna, smiled. She pulled a small, shiny yellow, smooth button out of her pocket. This was no ordinary button, it glowed as if it had light inside it. "Look, Leo," said his mother. "This is a pocket sundae, we will put this in your pants pocket tomorrow." Leo took the button in his hand. It wasn't cold, it was warm. "What does it do?" he asked. "This button is charged with my love," his mother said with a wink. "Whenever you feel lonely at school, whenever you miss me, or whenever you need a little courage, reach into your pocket and touch this button. In that moment, you will feel me hugging you. And those butterflies inside you will calm down and go to sleep." Leo held the button tightly in his palm. He truly felt a sense of safety spreading from his fingertips to his arm. "Is it magic?" he whispered. "Magic as strong as love," said his mother. That night, Leo put the yellow button under his pillow. And in his dream, he saw himself sliding over a rainbow with his blue bag. It was morning when the sun filtered through the gap in Leo's curtains. The smell of toasted bread was coming from the kitchen. Leo got out of bed. Today was the day. He went to the bathroom and washed his face. He looked at his reflection in the mirror. "You can do this, Leo," he said to himself. His father, David, had told him to always look in the mirror and smile at himself. Leo smiled. It was a slightly crooked smile, but that was okay. When he went down to the kitchen, his father, David, was making pancakes, dancing with a spatula in his hand. "Here comes our student," said his father cheerfully. Leo sat at the table. The pancake on his plate was in the shape of a smiling face. It had strawberry eyes and a banana mouth. Leo didn't have much of an appetite, but he ate a few bites so as not to upset his father. When it was time to get dressed, Leo first placed that magic yellow button in the right pocket of his pants. He checked with his hand. It was there. Small, hard, and reassuring. When they left the house, the air was cool and fresh. Autumn leaves accompanied them, crunching on the sidewalks. Leo held his mother's hand with one hand and his father's hand with the other. In the middle, he walked swinging like a little swing. They saw other children on the way too. Some were crying, some were laughing, and some were walking silently like Leo. They all had colorful bags on their backs. It was as if a herd of colorful turtles was migrating toward the school. When the school building came into view, Leo paused. The building was huge. Its windows looked like giant eyes. In its garden, there was a massive slide and a climbing course. At the door, a smiling woman with curly hair was waiting. This was his teacher, Miss Clara. Miss Clara knelt down to reach Leo's height. "Hello," she said cheerfully. "You must be Leo. I love your blue bag. Are there space adventures hidden inside?" Leo smiled shyly. "Just crayons," he whispered. "Oh, crayons are for drawing space adventures anyway," said Miss Clara. Then came the moment. The moment of separation. His mother hugged Leo and whispered in his ear, "Don't forget the button." His father gave him a high five. "You'll tell us everything when we come to pick you up, champion." Leo held Miss Clara's hand and stepped through the big door. When he looked back, his mother and father were waving at him. Leo waved back. His heart was going thump thump, but his hand in his pocket was holding the yellow button tightly. The inside of the classroom was very different from how it looked from the outside. This wasn't a room, it was a tiny world. There were colorful maps on the walls, paper birds hanging from the ceiling, and soft rugs on the floor. One corner of the room was the block corner. Massive towers were waiting to be built there. The other corner was the reading corner, filled with cushions. Miss Clara showed Leo his cubby. There was Leo's name and a small picture of a lion on the cubby. "This is your place, Leo," said his teacher. When Leo put his bag there, he started to feel like he belonged. His own cubby. This was very cool. There were other children in the class too. Some were crying, some were running around. Leo sat at a table. There was a box of Play-Doh in front of him. He opened the box but didn't know what to do. He felt a little lonely. Just then, his right hand went to his pocket. The yellow button was there. His mother's warmth was at his fingertips. Drawing strength from the button, Leo lifted his head. Across from him stood a girl with her hair tied in pigtails, wearing green overalls. The most striking thing about the girl was her light-up shoes with pictures of dinosaurs on them. The girl handed the blue Play-Doh in her hand to Leo. "Hello," she said. "I am Mila. I can share this blue dough with you. I have green. If we take your blue too, we can make a world." Leo was surprised. "A world?" "Yes," said Mila with a serious demeanor. "Greens are forest, blues are sea." Leo smiled. "I have space adventures in my bag," he said. "Maybe we can make a moon next to the world." Mila's eyes lit up. "Let's do it." At that moment, the butterflies in Leo's stomach changed direction. They weren't fluttering with anxiety anymore, they were dancing with excitement. Leo and Mila mixed the dough. They rolled, pressed, and shaped it. They didn't realize how time passed. Suddenly, Miss Clara rang a bell. Circle time. In the afternoon, everyone went out to the garden. The air had warmed up. Leo played the train game with Mila and the other children. Leo became the locomotive of the train. As he ran around the garden shouting, "Choo-choo," he felt the wind hitting his face. At one point, he stopped under the big oak tree. On the ground, he saw a wonderful leaf with jagged edges, colored red and orange. He picked the leaf up from the ground. This had to be the souvenir of today. I will show this to my mom, he thought. Then he remembered. Where was his fear from the morning? The worry about not finding the bathroom? The fear of being alone? They had all mixed in with the Play-Doh and flown away with the wind in the garden. He touched the button in his pocket. The button was still there, but Leo didn't feel the need to hold on to it tightly anymore. Just knowing it was there was enough. When they returned to the classroom, tiredness had set in. Miss Clara dimmed the lights a little. Everyone lay down on the cushions. The teacher began reading a book called The Sleeping Giant and the Little Mouse. Her voice was so soft and peaceful that the class suddenly became quiet. Leo lay on his cushion. His eyelids were getting heavy. School wasn't a scary place. School was a place where worlds were made of dough, friends with dinosaur shoes were made, and where you ran as a train. When Miss Clara closed the book, the door opened. There were familiar faces at the door. Moms and dads had arrived. When Leo saw his father, David, at the door, he jumped up. "Dad!" he shouted and hugged his leg. His father picked him up. "Wow! Is this the little Leo the first left this morning? Or a giant school tiger?" Leo giggled. "I am Leo, but I became a train too." His mother, Anna, came over to them too. She kissed Leo's forehead. "How did it go?" Leo put his hand in his pocket, took out the yellow button, and showed it to his mother. "I used this, Mom. But then Mila came and we made a world. Then I didn't need to use it." His mother's eyes welled up. "We are proud of you, Leo." It was evening when they returned home. The house felt warmer and safer than ever. At dinner, Leo wouldn't stop talking. Mila, the blocks, the book Miss Clara read, the leaf he found in the garden. He told everything. When bath time came, the dust and fatigue of the day washed away with the water. Leo put on his pajamas. He put his blue bag in the best corner of his room, on his chair. Because tomorrow, he would need that bag again. When he lay in his bed, his body felt like jelly. It was a sweet tiredness. His mother turned on the night light in the room. "Good night, my big schoolboy," she said. Leo slipped his hand under his pillow. He left the yellow button there, in its safe place. "Good night, Mom." "Good night, button," he said. He closed his eyes. The butterflies in his stomach were asleep now. Images of today were spinning in his mind, Mila's light-up shoes, Miss Clara's smile, the world made of dough. Feeling that he had grown up a little, Leo fell into a deep, sound, and peaceful sleep, ready to wake up to tomorrows where brand new adventures awaited him. The end.